Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited for this video because yesterday I interviewed a seven-figure agency owner called Joel Kaplan, and Joel actually walked me through his entire process for getting appointments through Instagram DM. And this is the sort of stuff that you wouldn't just stumble upon on YouTube. Like, we're going to give you the scripts, the processes, the calling scripts afterwards, and Joel actually does it live in front of me with his phone like this and shows you exactly what to say and exactly what the process is of getting someone to book an appointment through Instagram. It's a new method. It's been discovered by him and some of his clients, and it works really well. And I was like, well, do you mind if I put this on my YouTube? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So Joel's amazing, and I implore you to subscribe to him. His link will be in the description. But we're going to walk you through the exact process here. I'm super excited for it, so let's get the clip in. And towards the end, make sure you stick around to the end, because what Joel's actually going to do is set like a number of DMs he thinks you should do to get to 10K a month in the next couple of months, or even further than that. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm really excited. See you in the clip.
Charlie, it's great to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Mate, I'm so excited to see what you've got. So let's hop in. Everyone should obviously know who you are. Once again, as per the intro, Joel's channel is going to be linked in the description, but he's going to share some stuff with you, and I haven't even seen it yet, and he's been bigging it up for the last hour or two. So I'm super excited. So yeah, Joel, take it away, man. You have the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. So two things that I wanted to accomplish for you guys with this training. Number one, I wanted to give you guys something that you could use that's free to go out and get clients. So I'm actually a huge fan of paid ads because you get some really, really quick results and you can really accelerate your appointment setting. But this is my favorite strategy that's working right now, literally right now in our program. We have hundreds of students using this strategy and it's free. So this is my favorite free strategy. And then the second thing I wanted to give you guys was really everything. I wanted to show you everything, the scripts, how to optimize the profile, and how to do absolutely everything so that we're not gatekeeping any information.
The whole A to Z, baby.
So with that in mind, let's dive in. Let me pull up this Google Doc. Again, if you don't know me, my name is Joel Kaplan. I scaled my agency to 7 figures, then I sold it, and now we've helped hundreds of agency owners get to 10K a month, and we've helped like 85 get to 100K a month. So, all right, here we go. How to get SMMA clients on Instagram for free. Again, you don't have to pay for this. It's free. So you just got to do it. That's the price that you have to pay. You have to commit the time, energy, and focus to making it happen. So some notes before we begin. These scripts are better for Instagram DMs and Facebook DMs. They don't really work too well for LinkedIn. I don't know why that was there, or cold email. So this is great for any platform where it's more conversational. Like when you're cold emailing people, you get right to the point. You're not like saying, hey, how are you on a cold email? Or when you're emailing your clients, it's just like, here's what it is. Here's what you need to know. It's very much like robotic. It's not conversational.
Too direct. Yeah,
exactly. So these scripts work really well on platforms that are conversational, like Instagram, Facebook. When you DM someone on Instagram, it's really easygoing. It's not super in your face, to the point. So you want to treat these scripts and this strategy in the same way. So yeah, don't use them for cold email or LinkedIn. Always the key is more volume. Most people simply don't do enough. So
preach.
Yeah, bare minimum is 50 messages a day. That's like the standard. If you're not hitting 50 outbound messages per day, you are not doing enough. And ideally, you're getting all the way up to like 200 or even 300 messages. And I'll explain how to do that in just a second. But most people actually have a solid outreach strategy. They're just not doing enough. When you are having to go out to get clients and going to them, you simply have to put in more work because they're not coming to you. And if you want to fully automate that, then like I said, something like paid ads works really well, where you're just paying to get in front of people, and that's how you scale your reach. But if you're going to do something that's free, like cold email, cold call, DMs, you have to ask yourself, how can I reach as many people as I would if I did paid ads and just got in front of them? So like, let's say you spend like, I don't know, $30 a day and you reach, just to keep it simple, 300 people. You have to ask yourself, okay, how can I replicate that with my outreach? All right. Also, treat this like you would meet your prospect at a party. Again, when I meet you, let's say we met at a party, I'm not like, hey, my name is Joel. This is how I can help you. Do you like it? Yes or not? Yes or no, right? Like, it's more like, yo, what's going on, man? Good to meet you.
Yeah.
And then what would you say?
I'd be like, I'm good, man. What's going on? It's like you've got one of those like a t-shirt on that has your offer or something. That's how most people would probably do it at a party.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe we like notice that we both like basketball or a sport, and we're like, oh, did you watch the game? And then we kind of start to get to know each other. And then maybe at the end of the night, we're like, yo, we should definitely link up and do some work together. We both have YouTube channels, right? It doesn't happen right out of the gate, like in your face. So with Instagram DMing, you want to treat it the same way. Just like you would meet someone, first you start the conversation, then maybe you ask them a few questions to get to know them. And then after there's a conversation being had and some rapport being built, then you send your offer or make the ask. Also, last but not least, most people will copy and paste these scripts. And if you want to do that, that's fine. That being said, if you copy and paste these scripts, you're always going to be second place because someone else is already doing it. You're always going to come in second. You're always going to be the next option, not the first option. And in the game of business, it's much more powerful if you're first or if you're new rather than being better or second. So with that in mind, take the scripts and innovate on them. If you can figure out a way to make them a little bit better or a little bit different, you're going to crush it. Try not to copy and paste. All right.
Isn't that the truth, man? Been trying to tell people that for years, but they just want the shiny object.
Yeah, it's actually, I tell people all the time, that's the hardest thing to coach on, how to innovate.
It's how to think, man.
Because it's like, there's no formula for it. You have to really take the time to think on your own and be creative, right? So yeah, take the frameworks, innovate on them, do not copy and paste. Now, before we get started, everyone's like, Joel, how do I optimize my profile for Instagram DMing? So again, if we're trying to get clients on Instagram through DMs, how should you set up your profile? Here's what I like to tell everyone. If you have testimonial videos, literally just do a testimonial video dump on your profile so that any person that goes to your profile, that's all they see. Like, let me pull up an example of one of my students that gets clients from just from DMs, and I'll show you guys. I'll stop sharing for a sec. As you can see here, the profile is not anything crazy. It's literally just testimonials, results, a little bit of life, so they realize, like in the highlight reel, so they know he's not some crazy person.
It's not a robot.
But like, you do not have to overcomplicate it. Most people never take the first step because they want everything to be perfect. They're worried about steps 8, 9, and 10, so they never get started. And as you can see here, your profile could be extremely simple. You don't even need to have a bio. You can literally just start DMing people.
Oh, so he doesn't have like a call to action, like DM me to...
No, with DMs, so here's something to keep in mind. With DMs, you don't want to come off too strong, like, okay, this guy's trying to sell me something. So we keep the bio a little bit more like you.
Well, it's like a friend at a party, I suppose. It's just literally the same. If you were going to a party, a casual party, and you dressed in a suit, people would think, "Oh God, like, what's he going to try and do?"
Yeah, you're handing out business cards.
Yeah, it's like you turn with a suit and business cards, you'd be like, "What the hell is this guy doing? We're just trying to drink tequila." But that makes so much. So what you're saying, so like, if you're doing it for inbound and outbound, an inbound profile where you're getting inbound leads that's where the bio starts coming in handy. But with outbound, like you're trying to like just basically like you're trying to.
You want to mimic a real life conversation when you meet a stranger. Yeah, it's like you don't want to come off too strong. You don't want to be in their face. It's just like, oh look, this looks like a normal person, and if someone does watch the videos, all it is social proof. So it's only going to help. And if you don't have social proof, just literally put some pictures that make you seem like a real human being. Your bio could be something like, it could literally be something like love life, love business,
live, laugh, love.
Just
anything. Follow
anything.
that person. Yeah.
Maybe not that. I'm just like, like it could literally be like your favorite quote in your bio. It does not have to be anything crazy. Again, the reason why I'm addressing this without spending too much time on it is because it's really that simple. As long as you have a profile where you don't look like a scammer trying to sell crypto, you're good. I will say, yeah, go for it.
Do you think, because I'm learning a lot whilst doing this, so this is almost like a selfish interview because I want to know how it works. So do you think that it would be safe to say that you achieve optimization by purposely not trying to optimize? It's like that's sort of how it works. It's like your profile is optimized by you not purposely trying to optimize it for sales.
Yes,
it's just like
as long as here's all you need to check off. Is this a real person? And does this guy seem like someone that I would say hi to? That's it. So if you don't have testimonial videos, put a bunch of real life pictures of yourself. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to rent Lamborghini and put up this persona. It's just, is this a real person? And is this someone that I would say hi to or respond to if they ask me a question? If you look like a crypto scammer, or you don't have a profile picture, or you have a red flag, that's really all I care about cleaning up. Aside from that, keep it simple. That's the reason I showed you guys this profile, because it's literally so dumb and simple.
He's only got 60 followers as well, which seems people would probably
you don't need crazy amount of followers. Guys, normal looking person, that's it. You're not a guy at a party with a suit handing out business cards. You're just wearing a hoodie at a party show.
Yeah.
That's what people want when you're Instagram DMing them. They just need to feel comfortable in responding to you if you reach out. So if there's any red flags, that's what's going to prevent them from replying back to you. That's all you guys need to know. By the way, if it takes you longer than 30 minutes to optimize your profile, you are doing it wrong. 30 minutes, that's all I'm going to give you. If you're watching this training and you go and take action on it and you take longer than 30 minutes, you failed. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Once you max out your profile, because the biggest limit is going to be, how can I send more messages? You're going to either need to get friends to also help you out with their profiles, maybe your team, or you can create more profiles. So you can have, like this one says official Tony Lee, you could have official Tony Lee, but then add an extra E at the end, or like an underscore. Just create a few of those profiles. Just like there's literally scammers creating multiple profiles of me or of you. You just want to do that to yourself. Create multiple profiles. That way you can send more messages, because there is a limit to how many messages you can send every single day, especially when it's outbound. So the question is, how do you scale it? Well, if you only can send 30 messages a day with one profile, and you want to get to 300 messages a day, you create 10 profiles. Done.
Do you know if that limit naturally increases like the more that you've been on the platform? Is there like a hard rule for it, or is it just like randomly you'll get blocked?
If it's inbound, there's no limit. Like you can get as many inbound DMs as possible if they're coming to you, but this is all outbound. Man, I'm not 100% sure what the exact rules are. I will say, like, if you get a warning, just slow down on that profile and start creating.
Oh, so they warn you first. That makes sense. Yeah.
Or if they say, hey, you're restricted for the next, X amount of time, 24 hours, then just know, okay, here's my limit. And it's time to create more profiles and if I want to scale it. Remember, guys, more volume. So I'd rather you guys get 300 messages that are solid than 10 messages out that are perfect. And then last but not least, guys, with your profile, again, optimizing. Do not overcomplicate it. Keep it really, really simple. That's why I showed you that profile. I guess the only last thing that I'd say is don't give it away that you're a marketing agency trying to solicit them for service, to hire you. So as long as you keep it simple, you're a normal person, I'm not pitching you just like I'd meet you at a party, we're good. All right, let's dive in. Step one, we're going to find prospects on the Instagram Discover page. Here's how we're going to do that. We're going to go on the Discover page, literally go on the search bar, and you're going to look up a niche. So like, for example, I'm going to search dentist. And all these posts, like as you can see, we searched for it at the top. All these posts, guess what? Do you think these are posted by random people?
If they had some problems, yeah.
No, they're posted by dentists. So
Yeah.
like these are all, every single one of these posts is a potential client for you to reach out to. And the best part is that there's literally thousands of these. So if you're wondering, how do I actually find prospects to reach out to on Instagram? This is the easiest and fastest way. Literally every single one of these posts, or for the most part, every single one of these posts is posted by a dentist who wants to share their work. And what you would then do is, let's say we click on one. Okay. Okay, Oral Harmony, boom. Cosmetic dentist, 98,000 followers. Awesome. Let's go to another one. Let me find a good one for you guys.
So I guess you could type in like Invisalign or retainers or something like that as well. You get loads.
Yeah, like all these pages, every single one is a potential client. This one's great. Dr. Alexandra. So you have all these potential clients for you to reach out to. We could also do, if you don't want to look for the niche, you could type in the service. So for example, if you type in, there's a service done by implant dentists called the All On 4. That's what it's called. All On 4. Let's type it in. Someone that puts in All On 4, like they need to be a dentist. Like
yeah, you gotta be a specific type of person.
Exactly. So here, I typed in All On 4, as you could see, and then boom, we got all the All On 4 treatments. Let's find this person. Perfect. The dentist of Sacramento. There he is. Helping Sacramento smile more. He's got, it seems like, more than one location, so he'd be a great fit. And that's how we find our prospects. So we're going to go into the Discover feed. We're going to search for the niche, or we're going to search for the service where hey, this is going to be, like, for example, if you just posted gym, there might be some people that are just putting hashtag gym. But if you put a specific exercise or a specific service or machine, things like that, you're going to get things that are posted by the gym owner. So that's how we find the prospects. That makes sense so far?
Makes sense to me, my friend.
Cool. Here's what you're going to do. Once you find person to reach out to, you're going to, let me actually show you guys. First step is we're going to follow them. So they're going to get a notification that we follow them. That's what we want. We want to essentially fill up their notifications. And I know some people are like, oh, if you follow me and like my pictures, I'll never respond. But I promise you, if you're doing this 300 times a day, you are going to get people to respond. I actually guarantee it. If someone has a solid profile and they do this and they don't get any responses, message me and I'll give you free access to my program.
There's a claim.
Yeah.
I might clip that for the beginning of the video and just like
yeah, feel free, honestly.
Yeah.
And then that's solid. That's a solid clip. Yeah. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to one of their pictures. Okay, we're gonna like it, and we're gonna go to the next picture, and we're also gonna like it. Cool. We're gonna do that a few times. So now we're filling up their notifications. Then what we're gonna do. And by the way, this is all in the Google Doc. We're going to give you guys access. So on the last picture, what we're going to do is we're going to say, question for you, Dr. Blank. Let me get his name. I forgot his name. Suni. So I'm going to literally comment and I'm going to say, question for you, Dr. Suni. Check your DMs.
What's with the comment? Is that's just to warm them up, I suppose, and just basically to pop up in the notifications again?
Well, so we just follow them. We liked a few pictures, so you're essentially taking over their notification feed when people look at your notifications, so they see you multiple times, and then the last notification they're going to get is this one. You're going to say question for you, and then you're going to mention their name, Dr. Suni. Check your DMs. Now they're going to be so curious.
Yeah,
they're going to be like, what is this guy talking about? I have to go check my DMs. The hardest part with Instagram is getting them to actually open your message.
Yeah, because it goes to requests, isn't it? Something.
And most people aren't even primed to check for it. So now he's going to go check for it. And you said question for you, Dr. Suni. He's going to be like, does he have a question about getting work done? What is this about? Let me go actually read it. That's the whole purpose of part 1. We just want to get them to open our initial message. So we're priming the whole interaction for them to actually go to the DMs, check for your message, and open it and read it. Whenever anyone tells me, Joel, I can't get them to open it, the reason why is because they're putting all their effort on the message and everything that happens after that. And you need to be putting more focus on everything that happens before you send a message. Engaging with their content. You could literally follow up in the comments, be like, hey, Dr. Suni, I had a question for you. I don't know if you saw the message. I sent it to you. Maybe it's in the message request folder. So you could literally send that as a follow-up the next day if they never opened your message. Make sense?
Makes sense. It's more about warming them before, not after. Well, I mean, you have to do both, I suppose. But
yeah, you have to.
I think that's like a big tip, because like I don't think anyone thinks to do that. Like people just don't. I suppose it's the same thing with like Facebook DMs and stuff, but with Instagram, like you said, it's really bloody hard to get them to open.
Facebook is a little bit more complicated because maybe if you're not friends, you're not allowed. They don't let in. It's more of a private profile. They don't let you comment or like or engage with their content. Like, some profiles are set up to not allow you to engage based on the privacy. Whereas with Instagram, most of these people posting are using it for business. So it's going to let you engage. They're not going to be private profiles. They're public. And they're letting you engage with their profiles. So you can essentially use that to your advantage to get in front of them. It's almost like we're at a party and I'm like, yo, let's say I want to meet you. It's like, maybe I get my friend to introduce me to you, Charlie, or I'll be like, yo, and I'll just point to you or something.
Yeah, I'll just be like, who's this guy? Like, otherwise I wouldn't see you. Like, if you wanted to talk to me, but it's just like, Charlie's across the room. Send him an email.
Exactly. So it's like, or maybe we get our friend Dave. I'm like, yo, Dave, can you introduce me to Charlie? I wanted to ask him about something. Would you mind getting him to come over here, or at some point just linking us up? So it's everything before the interaction. And then again, when I meet you, it's not, hey, Charlie, my name is Joel. Here's what I believe we should do a YouTube collaboration. It's almost like, yo, actually, when I messaged you, I think I just said, yo.
Yeah, you're just like, yo, it's Joel. And I just sent you a voice note saying like, oh, something like that. So like, yeah.
It was more like at a party. I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Good to meet you. Oh, shit. We're both, growing our YouTube, collaborating. Let's see how we can work together to help each other out. And slowly got to the meat and potatoes, which was like, yo, let's do a content collaboration. All right. Let's go a little faster. So that's part 1. Part 1 is optimizing your profile, which shouldn't take any longer than 30 minutes. Keep it simple. Don't come off as a scammer. Don't come off as a marketing agency trying to sell something. Then what you're going to do is find prospects on the Discover page. And once you have a list, you can either do it one by one and go through and knock it out, get 50 done in a day, or you can take some time, create a massive list of like 1,000 profiles by literally scrolling on the feed and getting 1,000 Instagram pages, adding them to a spreadsheet, and then coming back and doing the rest of the steps. After that, we're going to follow them, like a few of their pictures. That way we show up in their notifications. And then on the last post, or on the last action step, would be to comment and say, question for you, name, sent you a message, or check your messages. And that's it. All right, step 2. Once we actually have them in, what we're going to do is we're going to start a conversation. My goal with part 2 is just to get them to respond. That's it. I don't want to drop my pitch. I don't want to cut right to the offer. All I want them to do is respond and get the conversation started, because as you know, in marketing, if someone takes the first step, they're much more likely to take a second bigger step. But if you jump right into the second bigger step, most people won't take it. So all I'm trying to do, and I'm sure all of us have had that conversation where someone reaches out, we're like,
it's just straight to it. You're like, oh my God, what the hell do you want? It's like, where's the hello,
Or like, have you ever, like, for example, with your SMMA, did you ever have a client who sends you an email or like a message on WhatsApp or something, and they want you to like tweak their ads or something? And you're like, okay, if I respond to this now I have to have the conversation. I can't just like respond the first time and then leave.
Yeah.
Now you're like, okay, I already responded to the first message. I have to keep going with the conversation. I can't just dip. Whereas if you just ignore it altogether, you're like, okay, I'll just come back to this tomorrow. I'm not going to respond yet. So all I'm trying to do is bait them into the first response, because then they're much more likely to continue the conversation.
That makes a lot of sense. I've always seen it I've always seen it transactionally, but I guess the conversation thing, it's like, it's kind of like they stick to you a little bit, because it's like, oh, there's this guy and I responded to him. There's like commitment consistency to it, I suppose, and they feel like they have to respond because they've already started. It's like, yeah.
Mind works in that weird way. Like just with a client, if you engage in a conversation with a client and now the conversation, like let's say they're like, hey, Charlie, can you tweak my ad? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to take care of it. And then they respond to you. It's hard for you to just ignore it. Now you're in it. You're doing.
Yeah, you're engaged. You're like locked in. Like part of your mind is like processing that conversation. So you're waiting for basically waiting for it to like.
Yeah, that's why you guys also want to be glued to your phone, because if they respond, that's when you want to drop the next message immediately, because then the likelihood of them seeing it and responding it goes up tremendously. Just like we say, call your leads within 5 minutes. Respond to the initial message within 5 minutes if possible.
Especially they can see that little typing ellipsis as well. Like they can just see that you're just typing whilst they've just responded.
Okay, so here's the formula. You can say, hey, name, and then start a conversation and ask questions. So here's some examples. You could say, hey, Dr. Suni, completely off base, but do you guys offer Invisalign? You could say, hey, Dr. Suni, is this the best place for a question? ? I have a quick question for you, Dr. Suni. Can I ask it here? Literally, I'm just trying to get them to respond. The best questions that I've seen get the best response rate are, can I ask you a question, or something about their service? Hey, do you guys offer do you guys work with these kinds of patients? Are you things that are going to be, you're really baiting them into responding. So it's like literally any question that is going to be an easy yes. So for example, if you say, can you guys handle more patients? That's not an easy yes. They're going to be like, is this a marketer? Can we handle more patients? We're pretty maxed out. I just want it to be such a simple question that I know the answer is yes. So for example, hey, name, completely off base, but do you guys offer all on 4? Well, if we found their post and it was an all on 4 post, we know the answer is yes. Or, hey, do you guys offer Invisalign? 9 times out of 10, a dentist is going to offer Invisalign. All I want them to do is say yes to you. That's it. And start the conversation. Or, hey, is this the best place to ask a question? Yeah, it is. You're in their Instagram. They're not going to say no, email us. They're going to say, yeah, what do you need help with? That's all I'm trying to do. After that, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can probe and ask 2 or 3 more questions, or you can jump right into the offer. So again, if you want, you can probe and go a little deeper. So for example, let's say that they say, we ask them, hey, Dr. Suni, completely off base, but do you guys offer Invisalign? And they say, yes. Be like, awesome. And are you guys taking on new Invisalign patients? Or do you guys have
just a reminder for everyone watching, like Joel's a genius at this shit, but do not copy and paste him, because you'll never be the first to copy and paste. You'll be the 1,000th, and then it won't work, and then you'll be like, oh, Joel's strategy doesn't work. But it's like, no, it's because you're doing the same thing as everyone else. So just a reminder.
My recommendation, guys, is take the frameworks and innovate on them. And I'll give you a perfect example of that in just a second, to show you how you can really take this exact same strategy, but just make it a little bit different. And now you're beating everyone. I'll show you in just a second. But if you want to go a little bit deeper, like, awesome. And do you guys have any spots open for Invisalign? Or awesome. And do you guys have any spots open? If you want to ask a few more questions, again, to get them to engage even more with you and really commit to the convo, you can, or you could just skip to.
Do you think it could work if you were like, hey, do you guys offer Invisalign? They were like, yeah. It's like, great. Do you have any availability on Thursday at 4? And then if they're like, yeah, it's like, well, I'd like to talk to you about getting more Invisalign patients. I've just scheduled a call between us. I'll see you then. Do you think that would work? Or
No, that's a little too
just
that's a little too
jump the
bait.
gun a
Like,
little bit too much.
yeah, that's like a
Like,
little bit
hi,
too
how's it
much.
going, man? Here's my business card.
Yeah, that's a
So,
little too much. I'll show you guys how to transition, but like,
yeah.
again, you can literally just ask one question to start the conversation. Again, the goal is just to get them to respond, or you can probe and go a little bit deeper, and ask a few more questions if you want. So for example, if you're like, hey, completely off base, but do you guys offer Invisalign? And then they're like, yeah, we do. And then you're like, awesome. And do you guys have any spots open? And they're like, yeah, we do. Then they're really talking to you. They're engaged. Now you could transition to the offer and schedule the appointment, which we'll talk about in a sec. But first, here's an idea for you guys to innovate on this. And you can copy and paste. You can literally take this exact strategy, copy and paste it, but instead of typing it out, you could send a voice message. You could say, hey, Dr. Suni, just wanted to ask you, I know it's totally random, but do you guys offer Invisalign? As a voice message. So you can literally take the exact same script, but now you're a little bit different. You know, if 100 of you guys take this script and send it as a written message, and then one of you guys takes it and sends it as a voice message, who's going to stand out?
Better still, you could video it.
Or you could video it. Boom. I think the voice message works because most people are like, what is curiosity?
Yeah,
like,
as well as like, who's this weirdo instead of being video, I suppose, is like, yeah.
But the idea is it's the same exact framework, you just tweaked it a little bit. So that's what I mean by take the framework and innovate on it. That's really what I mean. Or for example, like I have a student that instead of asking a question, he just compliments them first. And he actually sends them a post that they really liked, and he screenshots it on his phone, sends them the picture of it and says, hey, I really love this post. And that's all he says for the first message. Then if they engage, he then asks the question. By the way, totally random, but do you guys offer Invisalign? So there's ways to kind of tweak it a little bit. All right. We're almost done.
So
Next up, once they've responded yes, if you want to go a little deeper and get them to respond yes to a few more questions, you can. If not, you could literally jump right into the offer. We're going to drop the offer. Once you feel like it's a good moment, it's time to transition to dropping the offer and then scheduling the appointment. So there's a few ways that you could do this. I give you 3 different options. 1.
Oh, I like this. So you've got
2.
a couple of different ones.
Yeah, there's a few that you could test out. It's based on a few different things. So if you have a lot of results and you've done this for, like, let's say you have a really strong case study, you could say, awesome, well, I would love to show you our system that's crushing it for Invisalign, literally what you were talking about. We actually just got a dentist 32 Invisalign patients in 30 days, and he made like $23,000.
Invisalign ain't cheap, is it?
Yeah. Would you want to check it out? Happy to show you everything and hook you up. Pure value just to help out. The idea here is you're just saying, hey, I just want to show you the system just to help out. I'd love to share some ideas with you. I'd love to show you how the system works. And then you're obviously going to hop on and just do a demo of the system. And then they're going to be like, all right, can you do this for me? You could even literally give it all away, like literally show them the ads, go high level, show them everything, and then be like, you guys can have it, run with it. And then they're going to want you to do it for them. So like,
that's actually bloody genius. Because like they're not going to want to run it themselves. It's like, listen, I want to show you like the whole thing. I don't want you to pay anything for it. We can run it for you, or you can just take it and it can be yours. But that's brilliant.
Yeah, let me show you an example. So like, let me pull this up.
Like I want to show you, like, you know, we've just helped a dentist over in Colorado. He's got like 15 Invisalign patients the last 4 weeks. I want to show you how the system works. You don't have to buy it. I just want to show you how it works because I can see you're doing great work. And if you want me to implement it, I will. That's like shit.
And you're leading with value. What are you doing? What are you doing with your YouTube channel? What are we doing right now?
Value.
We lead with value. The problem is that when you're starting out with your SMMA, you don't have a scalable way to lead with value. So we're just doing it one by one. It's like you showing your YouTube video to one person at a time. But it's fine when you're starting out. That's what
Yeah.
you got to do. What you can't make up for with money, you make up for with time, with sweat equity. So, all right, here's an example, literally from the same guy I was telling you about, Tony. He said, "Hey, is this the best place for questions?" He goes, question mark. And then
Power movement.
he just jumped right in. He said, "Well, I just worked with Daily Details Garage to bring them an extra $8,098 worth of ceramic coating jobs in 30 days using a new system I stumbled upon months ago. Can you take on more clients? I'd be happy to show you the system free of charge." Then he followed up and said, "Did you get my message?" And he said, "Yeah." And then he said, "So what are your thoughts? We also have a 25 book jobs guarantee." And then he said, "You have my interest." So like,
such a power move. You have my interest.
yep.
I like that.
You see, it's so dumb. He didn't even like, there was like no flow to the conversation. It felt very transactional and he still got him on a call. And as you can see, he took my script and tweaked it a little bit. That's all I asked for. He just changed like one or two, like a few words here and there. But that was him saying, "Hey, I'll show you the system." He did afterwards throw in the offer of the guarantee. If you want to just cut to the chase, option 2 would be awesome. Well, I would love to send you 5 new patient appointments. Don't pay me until I get you results. Would you want to check it out? Happy to literally set everything up for you and hook you up to your value just to help out. So it's the same angle, but you're saying, "Hey, let me just send you the patients. Let me just hook you up with the actual system, or I'll do it for you as a free trial." That's your offer. You could even say, "Would love to send you 5 new patients. Appointments only pay." Like, let's say you're doing, like, I know a lot of you guys love Thomas Gonnett. He does like pay per appointment. So you could be like, only pay when they show up.
Shout out to Thomas. We love Thomas.
Yeah. Thomas is top G right now. He's crushing it. So are you, man. Both you guys. I'm trying to learn from both of you on the YouTube game. So,
Mate, I've got too much to learn from you from an operation standpoint, though. That's my ball neck. So
I love
we get
man.
it where we can.
We'll help each other out. One of my one of our core values is a rising tide raises all ships. So,
bit of Shakespeare, mate.
If you win, I win, and we'll both win together. All right. So you could option 2 is, instead of saying, "I'll show you the system," it's literally being like, "Hey, here's my offer. I'd love to send you 5 new patient appointments, only pay when they show up. Would you want to check it out?" And then, so you would essentially put your offer right here. All right. Option 3, this one's a little bit longer. It's kind of like 2, but it's divided up a little bit. Saying, "Awesome. I know you guys get a ton of messages like this, so I don't want to waste your time." And again, at this point, they've responded to you. They're engaged. They're looking. They're following the conversation. So they're much more likely to see this, which again is where most people lose when it comes to Instagram DMing. So then you're going to say, "Awesome. I know you guys get a ton of messages like this, so I don't want to waste your time. I'll send you 5 new patients that walk in the door, and you'll only pay if you get results. Reply back to start the conversation. Hope to chat, Joel." This was originally made by one of my incredible students who's a beast copywriting, and we kind of modified it a little bit for Instagram. It was initially somewhat of a cold email, but again, they've responded, they're engaged. You just cut right in. Charlie, I know you have to go soon. We're almost done. Almost.
No, it's all good, man.
Done.
This is huge. I'm happy to put it off.
Last but not least, guys, as soon as someone responds, get them on the phone. Do not try to close.
This is a massive like paradigm shift that like we try and help our clients have, where like, you know, like they're doing looms or something. It's like people like, they're like, "Oh yeah, this person responded to me, but then they didn't book the call." It's like, "Well, did you call them?" They're like, "No." It's like, "Well, how many times did you follow up with them?" "I like once." It's like, dude, when we were starting Imperium, like if someone replied to a loom, like I'd call them within like 2 minutes and be like, "Hey," they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Charlie." They're like, "I literally just sent you an email." I'm like, "Yeah, let's talk." And you just do the call there and then. Works really well.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the script. We'll link it in the YouTube video as well. This is the script that works really well for whenever anyone responds to a cold email or an Instagram DM. In this case, it'd be Instagram DMs. So here's how it would go. "Hey, Charlie."
What's going on?
"Hey, Charlie, this is Joel with Atlas Digital. I'm the guy who sent you that Instagram message about those new Invisalign patients. I saw your response and I figured this was a good chance to connect and learn a little bit more about each other. I've got about 10 to 15 minutes before I've got to hop off. Is this a good time to chat?"
Go on then.
Well, I've had such an overwhelming number of people that responded to the Instagram message, and we're just going to use this call to see if we're a good fit. I'll ask you some questions, and if it sounds like we can help you, we'll set up aside another time to chat and go through the details. Does that sound fair?
This is
So,
brilliant, man. Yeah.
and then you go into
That
it,
little
guys.
line, that like we've had loads of people respond to the Instagram message, and so I just want to see if you're a fit.
It's
It's such a
subtle,
power
yeah.
dynamic, like such a shift between like, so
And
you responded to my email and like I want to go as like listen, man, we've had like 20 people reply to that thing, and like we tend to only work with like half of them, because usually they're not the right fit. But do you mind if I ask you some questions just to make sure we actually can help you just before we try and sell you anything? That would work really well. It's amazing.
yeah, so the idea here, guys, is like, and I don't know if you noticed, but I came off a little bit submissive. I'm like a little shy. Like I was like, no, you want to come off very non-threatening, not in your face. I'm like, we've had an overwhelming number of people that have responded to the Instagram message. So we're just going to use this call to see if we're a good fit. And so you see how I come off a little bit like soft and not like, yo,
hey man, like,
that's such an overwhelming.
yeah.
So
That makes sense actually.
You come off that way, and it pulls people in. And then what you guys want to do is literally take them through your qualifying call and then schedule them in for a demo presentation. So, which is fascinating because by the time you're done with your demo, they'll probably forget even about the 5 new free patients or whatever, or what you even said. You don't even, I know you said we'll show you the system for free. Just take them through this qualifying call and then set them in to show them your demo presentation, which I'll also hook up your community with. Let me just pull it up right now. We can link it in the YouTube video.
Yeah, man. If you send me the resources, I will just pop them all in the description.
So then you take them through this demo presentation, and then by the end you go for the close, and technically you did show them the system. So, so yeah, this is extremely important, guys. I should even add it to the notes at the top. Call the leads. Get them off of Messenger. Can you set an appointment 100% through Messenger? Sure. Is it way easier if you've got them on the phone, they're listening to you, they're talking to you, it's happening in real time? Absolutely. So
a couple of things I'd add to that around the calling thing. So if anyone's watching and like you're messaging people, because obviously you're on Instagram DMs and you're on the discovery page, so you could be in Canada, but someone in like Australia responds or something. So like what we found is like to call people, use Skype and just get like a worldwide subscription. You can buy a local number from there. And then when you do call someone, if they don't answer the first time, double dial them. Because if someone's phone is on silent and you call them again within 30 seconds, the second call will actually come through. And if they don't answer, then you can text and voicemail drop as well. So maybe just to add that as well, that's what we would do.
I love that. That's fantastic. That's literally perfect. So just to wrap up here, guys, if they at any point in time stop responding to you, follow up with these very short, very easy follow-up. So it's like, if you guys want to make your own, you can. But as you can see, it's literally not even like 5 words. It's like, Charlie, maybe you send a GIF. Is everything okay? Did I lose you? So it's very light.
Yeah.
And then also, if they never open your initial message, keep commenting on their posts.
Yeah.
That's
so you just comment like, hey man, check your DMs. Just keep on.
Yeah, you could literally do a mix of this. Be like, hey, I sent you a message. Did you lose it, or is it there? Like anything that's going to bait them to actually check it. So you want to create some curiosity.
Sweet.
Did you guys? Something like that. Don't overcomplicate it. You could literally comment on their. So again, if they saw your messages and then they stop following up, you would DM them these responses. If they never opened your message, the way that you follow up is by continuing to comment on their posts and engage with their content. Also, last hack, get a VA to do this. Virtual assistants will hold you accountable. And then last but not least, here's my recommendation to everyone. Commit to sending 50 a day for the next 30 days. That should be your challenge. And you should send the first 50 day one. Most people overcomplicate this. They wait too long. They never get started. Step 1 is way harder than steps 8, 9, and 10, even though 8, 9, and 10 are technically more difficult. So just take the first step.
Do you know, I always say, like, starting a business is like driving a car. Well, I don't say this. I learned this from someone. Like, starting a business or let's say starting Instagram DMs, it's like driving a car at night. You can only see what's like 10 meters in front of you. If you try and look a mile down the road, you're going to crash. So like people trying to solve all of these problems, they're not facing it. It's like you've got like 3 billion neurons. If you put all of those onto the problem in front of you, you're probably going to solve it. So, but there you go, guys. I mean, that's the thing. Joel literally just showed you, like, not only the process for introducing yourself and booking the appointments, but then closing them and then selling them and all that stuff as well. All you've got to do is send 50 a day for 30 days. And what do you think would happen? I expect people would book like 2-3 calls a day from that. If you think about that in a 20-day time horizon, if you're working 5 days a week, dude, that's like 40 meetings a month. If you can't sign like 4 clients from that, technically with this method, you could think that someone's like 3 months away from 10 grand a month. Like, that's the problem solved. And all it requires is a bit of thinking and consistency. And, you know, so anyone watching this, like, this is the last thing you should watch today about your SMMA. Just do this. We've just showed you how to do it. Like, Joel, how many appointments are your guys booking through this? Like,
quite a few. So we literally, we created an entire coaching call for Instagram DMs, because right now it's our favorite free strategy. So like, out of cold email, cold call, like, there's pros and cons. Like, I know cold call is crushing for some people right now, but there's a few difficulty. It's harder to scale. It's harder to find motivated people to call with you and make dials. So there's that complexity. It's great if you're just solo. You also can only do it during certain hours. This you could do at night. So like, literally, if you have a 9 to 5, you could get home and do this. You know, if you're an Uber driver and you're like waiting before picking up the next person, you could literally get five of these out, at least 5 DMs out easily in between, like waiting for 10 minutes. I think we timed it. It takes about 2 minutes per person to do the whole process. Find them, like their posts, comment, send them the first message.
Yeah.
So it should take you, let's say if you're sending 50, that's 100 minutes. That's like, let's call it
like 2 hours a day if you account for calling people and messaging them and stuff.
1.5, like, 2 hours. Everyone has 1.5 to 2 hours? Everyone.
Do you think that this could work on Twitter? Like, you retweet and reply to someone's tweet?
This framework works in any platform that is conversational. So it can work on Facebook, the same exact process, but you have to find different ways to get them to open your message. It's a little bit harder to get them to open that message on Facebook. They don't accept your friend request. Most people never check message requests, and it's hard to keep following up and getting them to see your notification of you messaging them or commenting on their posts. So this
TikTok,
framework,
I suppose. Yeah. Try TikTok, like TikTok DMs. I don't know if that would work or not.
Sorry,
I interrupted you.
If you have like a phone number list, for example, that they've opted in, like to text message, you could do this for text messaging, like any conversational platform. So Facebook, SMS. Just be careful with SMS that you're not doing blasts, because technically it's you're not supposed to. But like, if you have their number and you want to text someone, technically, I believe you can one by one. So it's like, hey, is this Charlie? What are you going to say? Yeah.
New phone, who dis? That sort of thing. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. I mean, that was amazing. I mean, I certainly learned a lot, and I'm sure that everyone watching is extremely grateful. Guys, I can't recommend it enough that you go and subscribe to Joel's channel. It will be linked in the description at the top, as will all the resources that we use to discuss sort of through this video. And, you know, go and subscribe to his channel, because Joel's going to be making, well, he has made, but he's going to be making more content similar to this, and just basically revealing all of his systems and stuff. And, you know, he's a force to be reckoned with from an appointment booking perspective. And, you know, if you want other videos like this, other interviews and stuff, you can subscribe, and, you know, I'm sure we'll have Joel on again at some point in the future. In fact, that's one thing we can do. If you guys want Joel to come back on and share another strategy, if he's comfortable with that, just comment down below, like, again or something. We'll just confuse the hell out of everyone who's got short attention spans and didn't watch to the end. But Joel, mate, what an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Comment again below.
Yeah, just capital letters, just again. It's a shame there's not like a business card emoji or something. We could just like keep it going, but just do again, and then you know, if we get
I'll hook you
enough
guys
people
up.
who really
Whatever you
want.
want to learn.
Yeah,
Whatever you guys want to learn. Client delivery,
sick.
sales, paid ads.
Let's do it like that. Let's do it like that. So comment again, and then put the thing you want to learn next to the comment, and then whichever comment gets the most traction, then we'll just start looking at teaching you guys that. But everyone, thanks for watching, and as always, I hope you really enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much for staying with us today.
See you guys.